everyone, and welcome to this session on the Total Economic Impact study of SAP Value Assurance. Today, you will learn more about the key findings and the methodology of the study that was conducted by Forrester Consulting and commissioned by SAP to better understand the potential financial impact and benefits of SAP Value Assurance. My name is Susanne Monzig, and I'm part of the SAP Services and Support Marketing team. And I'm excited that today Jan ten Sunthoff from Forrester Consulting is here with me today. Hello, Jan. Would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jan ten Sunthoff. I'm a senior TEI consultant at Forrester Research, and I was the lead consultant on this project.
Thanks, Jan. So let me first highlight some of the key characteristics of SAP Value Assurance. The service offering provides a framework to accelerate the successful go-live of your cloud, on-premise, or hybrid implementation led by you or your partner with less risk. You can select your desired level of SAP involvement for planning, designing, and safeguarding your implementation project. It's an end-to-end engagement to support you and your partner from the very beginning of the implementation with, for example, recommendations for the right implementation strategy for new implementation, selective data transition, or system conversion. Depending on your implementation scenario, you will get a clear transition roadmap with a concrete plan and defined roles and responsibilities. With SAP Value Assurance, you have access to design support services for a close to standard implementation to avoid unnecessary custom code. And finally, we provide reviews and recommendations based on SAP best practices and going live support during the execution phase to be in time and budget. So to better understand the value, benefits, and costs associated with an investment in an SAP Value Assurance engagement, Forrester interviewed both customers and partners with experience using SAP Value Assurance. Jan, would you now please tell us more about the study, the key findings, and share insights from customers and partners?
Sure. Yes. Thank you, Susanna. Just to start by saying that SAP commissioned this study. This webinar is a short version of the full study that you see here. So it's a 20 to 25 page PDF document with all the details, calculations, assumptions for you to read in detail. And you have the link there if you want to download it and look at it in detail. So first of all, just to talk a little bit about what is Total Economic Impact TEI. So that is Forrester's methodology for looking at a technology investment, business value, or looking at the return on investment, if you like. And we want to capture all the different factors that impact a technology investment. So we want to capture and quantify as many different benefits as we can. We want to capture all the different cost components. We want to capture flexibility where appropriate. So that is potential for future benefits from an investment today. And we apply risk across each of those to make it applicable to as wide an audience as possible. In terms of the methodology, so it's a multi-step approach to evaluate for customers and partners. We start with what we call due diligence. So this is very much for Forrester to get a better understanding of the value assurance proposition, to understand the capabilities, to understand technical components. So we received a lot of information from SAP and we spoke to SAP specialists. From there, we put together a document to put questions to customers and partners. So that's the core of the research, is the interviews with 4 customers and 2 partners in this case. And from there, we built what we call a composite organization. So all the customers and partners remain anonymous. So we build what we call a representative or composite fictitious organization, and then build a financial model around that composite organization. And then from there, we write up the case study and review and finalize. And there's a Forrester analyst to support as the subject matter expert, just to review and make sure that the approach is right and provide benchmarks and so on. So in terms of the customers and partners we interviewed, just a bit more detail here. So as I said, 4 customers from a variety of different regions and vertical industries, so entertainment and services, manufacturing, financial services and consumer goods, all kind of mid-size, so from 450 employees to 4,000, just over 4,000 employees. And in each case, the project was a migration to an SAP S/4HANA platform. So in various different ways, so ECC migration to SAP S/4HANA. In some cases, there was hardware upgrades involved as well. And then we also spoke to two partners, both based in Asia, to get that view as well from the partner side, what they see the value of SAP being involved in such projects. So in terms of the composite organization, so we put together this one. So it's a regional manufacturer, roughly $1 billion in revenue, 2,000 employees. And so the model is based around a $5 million SAP S/4HANA implementation project for a regional manufacturing enterprise led by a partner. So an ECC migration to SAP S/4HANA. And so the project is $5 million, and then the component of SAP Value Assurance is about 10% of that. And there's a very hard, important 12-month deadline for this project, which was the case in all the customer discussions that we had. Just to share a key quote with some of the high-level feedback. So I'll read it out. We had to deliver on time with high-quality implementation, minimizing customizations with limited internal SAP S/4HANA knowledge. So this was very much a typical pre-investment situation. Important to have the project on time, often limited internal capabilities, and really wanted to minimize customizations. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. From the research, we were able to quantify 4 key benefits from the Value Assurance service, and they're kind of very much based around 2 key metrics. So one is about accelerating the project time, so being able to ensure that projects are completed faster. And there are 2 components to the value of that. So that's first of all that you avoid additional costs from the project going on longer, but there's also value from having that application become live even sooner. So you get that value sooner once the implementation is completed. And then the second key metric is around the reduction in customizations, and that's around improving the business value of the implementation and then not needing to upgrade it and not spend so much effort upgrading it in future years. So in terms of the faster implementation, so on average, project implementations were 20% faster with SAP Value Assurance. In one case, as the quote says, the project would have taken 40% longer without SAP. Some of them weren't quite that much, but it's 20% on average. So a very significant impact on the length of the project. And there's a number of reasons why that is. So it avoids suboptimal approaches and designs from the start. The technical quality manager independently manages the project and enables rapid issue resolution. There are regular reviews to minimize time-consuming workarounds and customizations, and it avoids post-go-live delays. So lots of reasons why having SAP Value Assurance on the project makes it go faster and complete sooner. Then secondly, the customizations and workarounds are reduced by 75%. So this has a number of different components. So it means that the business value of the application is enhanced by minimizing non-standard approaches. Partners also often cannot access or bring forward new capabilities and functionalities. So there were cases where the customer said, we need a certain functionality, but that wasn't available in that instance of SAP S/4HANA. But because SAP was on the project, they knew it was coming down the line and they could bring it forward and therefore integrate it into that project sooner. And by avoiding customizations, future IT upgrade efforts are reduced. So there's less modifications that need to be upgraded every time there's an SAP upgrade to the application. And just a couple of quotes to support that. So SAP ensured that the configurations were implemented as per the blueprint through thorough understanding and reviews. And the second one, SAP can bring new services forward for customers who need this. So not only do they get such innovations sooner, but it also avoids customizations. And that was from one of the partners. In addition to those 4 benefits that we were able to quantify, there's some additional benefits which weren't quantified. So these are on top of the actual financial numbers. So there's a reduced risk of post-go live issues. So because the customizations are minimized and standard approaches are taken as much as possible, it's much, much less likely that there's a post-go live issue. There's some increased flexibility, and there's also some improved security. So one of the customers mentioned that there were some suggestions from SAP that they otherwise wouldn't have had in terms of improving the security of the application. So just to summarize, what does all that mean? So overall, over the 3 years, we found a very compelling return on investment of 251%. And the two key metrics, really the reduced number of customizations by 75% and the reduction in implementation time of 20%. And just to finish on a key quote again, so the project was delivered on time, on budget, and in scope. And with that, I hand back to Susanna.
Thanks, Jan, for this concise summary of the study. And with that, we are at the end of our session. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. So thanks for listening. Download the Total Economic Impact study of SAP Value Assurance and enjoy reading. Bye.
Bye.